Alright, welcome to today's quick mixing video. Today we are going to go through the mix on my Crim Drums free contest entry. As you can see, it's really simple. There's just 4 tracks. There's 2 guitar tracks, a drum track and a bass guitar track. The thing is that I made all of this with only 3 plugins, so we are going to go through it all. I'm going to show you how the guitars sound DI, all the effects on it, what I did with the drums, and how I made my bass sound. And you just have to excuse my voice, I'm a bit under the weather today. But let's just get straight into it. First thing is the guitars. If we disable the effects and solo them, this is what we got. And with the effects, sorry. So as you can see here, it's not the most bass heavy sound. It's actually quite thin, but it fills out nicely with the bass guitar. So let's have a look at the effects. First thing is the TSE 808 V2, which is a great tube screamer pedal. Just tightens things up. Let's listen to it without and with. So it just gives it that little bit extra gain. And then we have our roots, which is this free guitar amp plugin from Amped. It's kind of a demo. The full version contains more amps, but this one just has the 5034 fluff. And as you can see, I actually haven't messed with any of it other than the input gain. And this is just a super nice sounding plugin. As you can see here, I'm not using any of the pedals. When it comes to the cabinets, I'm using the Mega Oversize with a Dynamic 57 and a Freeman M25 with a Ribbon 160, and slightly biased towards the Mega Oversized. And then finally, there's an EQ. And of course, all these effects are applied to both of the tracks. I just did it that way instead of setting up sends and receives. We are just high passing at 117.2 Hertz, and we are bumping it up a bit here at 8000 Hertz, quite a bit actually, 5.6 dB, and we are low passing at around 12K. You can listen to it without the EQ. And with. So it just basically makes it a bit brighter while still cutting off some unnecessary air and cutting off the bass frequencies that we're going to fill out with the bass guitars anyways. Next up, let's do the bass next. The drums final. So that is the bass guitar with effects. This is the DI signal. So as you can hear, just a normal bass guitar signal played with a pick on my Ibanez 30-inch bass. When it comes to the effects, we can just delete these because these I don't use. First effect is just actually a roll-off, a low pass at 1852 Hertz. I'll explain why later, but this just kind of rolls off the high end. And then we're going into the neural amp modeler. which is super cool. I just started using this. This is of course just free, and it's maybe one of the best guitar modelers I have come across. The only kind of challenging thing with it is that you have to mess with a lot of presets to find something you like. On the bass end, the selection is kind of limited, but I find this dark glass mix ready thing with cabinet, and it just sounds great. And we just need to tame that a bit. As you can see, I've gone really aggressive here. Just scooped out everything at 309 Hertz and scooped out a lot at 1200 Hertz, and again a low pass at around 2K. Now, the reason why I'm low passing it at the beginning of the chain is that if I feed too much high end into the neural amp modeler, something weird happens and you just get a lot of unwanted frequencies, and sometimes it causes the signal to pump in a really weird way. So I just recommend doing it like this. And finally we have the drums. This is Crim Drums Free. Quite possibly the most important free plugin that has ever been released when it comes to drums. It just sounds freaking incredible. It's mixed just the way I want it to sound. It just fits directly into the mix perfectly as it is. As you can see, I've done some changes to it, but yeah, it's just amazing. There's not really much you can do about this kick. You can't go into the mixer, you can't route the tracks to separate outputs, you can't change any of the drums, but that doesn't really matter. If you just want some great sounding metal drums, this is everything you need and more. So what I've done is I've used the free Reaper NDA loudness, just to give it a bit more low end and punch. And then with the EQ, I scooped out some at 312 Hertz and added some high frequencies at around 12K. Just for that slightly more aggressive sound. And that's about it. That's everything there is to this mix. It's super simple, and making good sounding metal has never really been easier. I know this mix is really bass heavy. I actually mixed it all on headphones and I haven't had the time to reference them on good monitors. So it might be really bass heavy, but who cares? Sounds good anyways. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little rundown of the mix, and here you can hear the entire thing again. So enjoy.